You notice how in Daniel, it always talks about either the first year or the second year, but the third year tops. In the third year, like the third day, the second year or the second day, or the first year or the first day, or the first year. And the four different kings that are involved in Daniel: Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, and Darius, and Trump, Cyrus. Even though Trump's not, I don't see any resemblance to King Cyrus, except for the fact that they're trying to just push that he's King Cyrus, and he's in his third year. But the funny thing is, in Trump's third year, his reign, Jerusalem will be rebuilt. Just not purposed by his hand. You know, his hand's going to be forced a little bit there in the end, because of the information that he received and the information that he didn't receive before the information that he receives. So you have those similarities of the number 3 and Daniel praying 3 times a day, then being thrown in the fiery furnace until 7 times passes by, until it heated up 7 times more than what it wants to be heated. So you're going to go through that fire from heaven show. You're not going to be singed. You're not even going to smell like fire. And then when you get thrown in the lion's den, you are going to be the one that shuts the lion's mouths, just by being thrown in there. And then afterwards, it's just hanging out in the woods there. So you have these timelines, you have these events, you have certain kings, you have them in order, like in line. In Daniel, it sounds like it's all one after another. In the book of Revelation, it looks more like it's not in chronological order. Like it doesn't go one verse at a time. It doesn't go one chapter at a time. And once it gets to chapter 20, it jumps back. It goes all the way back to the 5th trumpet, the 5th seal. But as you read it in chronological order and you think that you're continuing on with the 20th chapter from the 19th, that's where a lot of people make these mistakes. And then that brings me to the 1,000-year period. The 1,000-year period in Revelation is talked about in Daniel when it's referring to Belshazzar making a party for 1,000 of his lords. 1,000 of his lords. What do you think that means, huh? And he was slain that very night. So because he was slain that very night, and he realized, oh wait, I shouldn't have taken those cups out. Is she done? No. Sometimes things are purposely done to try to distract you. And if they are, they are. But what you need to do is just stay focused, okay? Just continue to think what you were thinking. Because you're going to have hecklers and, people like, oh my God. I see you guys back there heckling me right now. I see it. I can see you doing it right now as I'm looking straight at you. Face to face. Face to face. And you're heckling me. And you're like, oh man, that poor guy believes in the Bible. You guys that aren't on the other side, The ones that aren't on the other side, like just regular trolls and yeah, like non-believers. See, my audience has I love all of you, by the way. Let me just tell you that. I do, and I'm showing you. And I'm going to show you more when this happens. But in the meantime, you got to be treated accordingly. So there's a group of my watchers, you guys that are watching. There's a group of yous. And some of yous just have absolutely no belief, no faith whatsoever. But for some reason, you're addicted to watching. And then there's my regular subs, which when I say regular, I mean I'm regular myself. At least I feel like just a normal average person. Probably not. Probably not. But I'm still living life like I am. So you have like normal people that are like the rest and thyatira that don't have this doctrine and they don't know the depths of Satan. You guys. God has like no other burden to put upon you. And then you got the ones on the other side that know. They know that what I'm saying has already happened in their script because for it has been written. It has been written, and I'm just reading it. I know it's been written. That's why I'm reading it. So you guys are the ones that have more faith in me. Like you actually probably have more faith than I do. Because what I'm saying, I'm just taking a guess. I mean, look, aren't I just taking an educated guess? When it all is said and done, I'm just guessing what's going to happen on a specific date. But man, it sure seems to come true, right? Or I'm just delusional. So the ones that know on the other side, you guys are like already turning to God, aren't you? Because you see that, shit, this is gonna, he just nailed down every date we have. Or he's only 3 days off on this one, and this one's gonna happen on the first, and not that one, but that one's happening right afterwards. It's like, so I can just imagine on the other end how much you guys are like, holy shit, there is a God. He's true. But that's only if my predictions are correct. I have a feeling, a strong, very strong suspicion that they are dead on. So if you would just tell me, you know what I mean? Just tell me. Okay, tell me, come on. Hey, yep. You're right. You're right. I mean, it's not too much that you're wrong on. So I'll take that. I'll take that. I mean, I know what that means. And just know that the ones on the other side, we're all still accomplishing the same thing. In the end, when the 150 days are up and the waters are abated, those next 10 days, it's just like it's like a cleansing process, you know? Once the waters are abated, once that shower's turned off, once the water is turned off, once electricity is shut off, once everything is shut down, once that sun goes down and turns off, once everything is abated, then it's time for the earth to get dry. You know, in the second month and the 27th day of the month, in the 601st year, the first day, the first month, the first day in the first month of the first year, that very first hour, there's a reason why there's going to be there's no more sorrow, there's no more deaths, there's no more lying, there's no more slavery, there's no more stress. Because when I'm in charge of everything and I have my say in where everything gets distributed, and this is what I want to do, when I wasn't thinking about being involved with 7.7 billion people, I just thought maybe 77 tops, but I don't know about 7.7 billion. But now I understand, yeah, why not? What's the big deal? All you guys got to do is just agree. Once you agree to my plan, I'll show you how we can get it started and moving. I'm sure there's a bunch of intelligent people that are on the other end of this that already knows. You already have those connections everywhere. And I know Trump's a big connection, and I know Steve's a big connection. And but you know, Steve, I just want to let you know that you are being deceived, just like King Darius was. And it's, you know, take note what happened to Steve, King Steve. Take note to what happened with Darius, right? But also take note what happened to Belshazzar, because he decided to turn from what King Neb did. He changed his mind and went in the other direction. He was trying to throw a party for 1,000 years to 1,000 of his lords, and it was time to bust out those cups and the golden vessels and everything. And that's when God, well, he had to show him. It's 11 minutes. She keeps yelling at her dog. I don't know what the problem is. But what you have is when he makes that party for 1,000 years, and he starts to see this, like the writing is on the wall. I'm going to walk this way. Time to take a little stroll. Being distracted is one thing. Once. Trying again. I just prefer to kind of like keep peace of mind when I'm doing videos with no distractions in the background. You know, like that background. You know how like you can tell that you're going to get a distraction that's coming up upon you, so you kind of avoid the situation, just continue to go. I mean, is that all coincidence too, that Mr. Belshazzar gets slain that very night when the writing is on the wall? I mean, well, the next morning, I'm sorry. But when the writing is on the wall, and Daniel is trying to tell this guy that the writing's on the wall, you know, he did ask him, he's like, is there anything I can do? The only thing I disagree with Daniel is that he said no. Because there is something that you can do. You can cry out to God, no matter how bad you are of a person or what you did. For the time that you have breath in your lungs, you can still cry out to him. But for the purpose of the Bible being fulfilled and on top of that, that wasn't even said. That's just being said in the movie. But you know, it does help to watch, right? So you can kind of get, you can visualize the characters, you know, and get their perspective also. But keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. You don't have to believe everything that they say, but it does help to get a different perspective. Just staying, you know, laser focused on that old book of Daniel and going back and forth with Revelation, Daniel, and Genesis. So basically you go from the beginning to the ending, and and then everywhere in between. And just keep looking at where everything is tying in together. And understand that it's like, how do you understand that when the witnesses are finished with their testimony, right? How do you know that that connects with Daniel asking one on this side of the bank of the river and that on the other side of the bank of the river, and them telling him it's for a time, times and a half, because he's asking how long to the end of these wonders. And so how do you connect that with Revelation, with the witnesses, the two witnesses being finished with their testimony? That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I just do. It's where I connected that. But I also see that when the witnesses are finished with their testimony, that that happens to be the same timeline where the waters are abated. Because what is it that the two witnesses are spewing out of their mouth? Well, fire from heaven. Fire, the word of God, judgment from heaven. And when they are silenced, like YouTube's going to get silenced, right? But we'll still have time after that, because the vision's for many days. And for many days we're going to be in captivity. We're going to be spoiled. Yeah, spoiled, rotten, rich kids. And then, but they're also going to spoil all the goods and all the riches and everything. So that's going to happen for a while. But the true shutdown is when all electricity is shut down right here in Great Babylon. When they tell us that North Korea shot an EMP and zapped out our electric, and they tell us that the bear rose up and has like 3 ribs between its teeth over there in Russia. And when pigs fly, like China, when they start flying, you know that it's the end then, because it's the year of the pig. And you know, too many things just keep, it's like now everything is just falling like in place without even trying. It just keeps a domino effect. Just keep the sky. I didn't start to understand it until about a year and a half ago. I remember outside of my house, I took a picture of this cloud up from behind my shed. I'm like, man, that looks like a nuclear explosion. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, what if things aren't real? I'm one of those guys. What if that's not even real? I mean, it looks too picture perfect. It looks picture perfect. And then I remember looking up some more, and then I'd start seeing, and then looking at these stars with these cameras on them, and just knowing that there's 66 of them out there, and knowing that not all the stars are fake, Rabin. Not all of them. But, yeah, they are. The ones that we see are. Not all of them are satellites, no, but there's 66 of them that have numerous amount of cameras on them that can project more. It's like a miracle. Those signs and wonders that you guys got going on up in the heavens that deceives all of them that dwelled upon the earth. Except for some, I mean, not everybody. All those that don't really have a clue. Which reminds me, I watched a movie yesterday. What was it called? I don't know. Something about the apocalypse a quiet approaching apocalypse. I forgot the name of it. But this father and his two daughters went to like the mountains and where they lived. But as they're going there, things are starting to shut down. And I never seen the movie, but when I'm quarter way through it, I said, you know, if this movie finishes out without really being told why the electricity was turned out, then it's a damn good movie. And because I understand what the message is. And then that's how the movie ended. There was like rumors, right, that there was power being turned back on, but it was showing like, you know, 3 days without power, and then 10 days without power, and then like 30 days without power, and then it's like 5 months without power. But they were, it's like, depending on who you're listening to. So those people out there, when they're not on YouTube and they don't hear the stuff that's going on, or they're not even watching the news, and this is like how most of the people in the world are going to find out. And I give it to the director. It was a good movie because it was more realistic is what it was. When the power gets shut off and you don't even know, you know, what the deal is. But the people that do know, the ones that are listening to like Richie from Boston and everything, going into your bunkers, you guys, right? The ones that are gonna hide, and then the other ones, like again, the other group, the other audience, once they hear about the power, the ones that watch the mainstream and don't watch YouTube, and the ones that believe what they're watching, oh man, they are really deceived. At least the ones that haven't even heard and they're just kind of left to figure it out on their own, they're not in such bad shape. But the ones that do believe the mainstream media, they're going to be the ones that go and walk freely, willfully to the FEMA camps, because they're going to think that they're there to help. That's on them, right? I mean, they're the ones that decided to go. But then there's a remnant that's going to be left behind, you know. The remnant that they're going to be left behind, technically it's us, okay? We are the remnant that when this all happens, we're like, whatever, man. Okay, come on, bring it on. So we're just going to sit still because the power we have is to stay still. So the movie, what it taught me there with the message of the movie is, well, it kind of depends on where you are. Like if you're in the inner city, you're going to hear all kinds of rumors. One person's going to be saying North Korea shot the missile at us. Another person's going to be saying that the sun, the second binary sun, zapped our EMP somehow. And so you're going to hear all kinds of rumors. And then, but if you're out like in the suburbs, you're going to hear less rumors, but you're still going to hear from other people. But if you're out in the boondocks, you ain't going to know anything, especially if you don't know anything. But can you imagine being the one that knows, and then you're you're up in those mountain areas there. You're already prepared, right? No, not the mountains. Not the literal mountains. Not the ones that you actually go and climb up on. Flee to the mountains, okay? When you see the abomination of desolation standing in a holy place, flee to the mountains. Which is your highest existence, your highest mindset, go to the peak. Go where Christ resides and sits, and go there and listen to instructions. Go to that mountain. Flee to the wilderness. This is what it's like inside the heads of people who are spiritually blind. It's really, really foggy. When things are that foggy, you can't really see clearly. You can't see afar off. You're kind of farsighted, like blind. So think about this. The elite say, well, every time we create fog and clogging the sky, God can't see through his third eye. So they truly believe that they're covering God's third eye. It's so amazing that they're going to go up against the one who created them. Is this upside down? It might be. Oh well, I think I might have turned the phone upside down. No, I think it's normal now. So what are people saying? That the fifth trumpet is getting ready to... The fifth trumpet is being sounded now? And then, I know you're pushing that, right, Steve? Even though you already admitted to me that Harold Camping was the fifth trumpet, but now, you know, you change your tune. The fifth trumpet is sounding. The fifth seal is getting ready to be opened up, and Satan's getting ready to be loosed out of his prison, right? For a little season. It already happened, Steve. You were already loosed up out of your prison as an imposter, trying to claim to be Christ, trying to claim to be Satan. I mean, I think you're claiming to be everything and anything in the Bible, stealing everybody's birthrights. But remember, you're just the actor playing the role. Like, you're literally the actor playing the role underground. Before you become worldwide famous, I already know who you are. That's how God draws me in that direction where I need to go. So now when you pop up, it's like you were already going to pop up anyway. Before you pop up, I know who you are, and I'm not part of your organization. And I'm the only one that knows who you are, right? Not being part of any organization, ever. Just a single individual walking the earth, figuring these things out with the help of a few people. And even yourself, Steve, even you've helped me to know who you are. you've given me some, you've thrown some hints there. I don't know if you thought I was going to pick up on them as fast or quickly as I did, but I picked up on it quickly. So you're just the actor playing like our parts. Like there's individuals that you're actually playing that are real. They are true. And you just didn't know that they were, you didn't particularly believe it until you started seeing it with your own eyes. And then because you're in charge of surveilling people, you know more about that person than they do. Especially because you know the Bible inside and out. There was just some scriptures that you didn't believe that they were true, and now you're starting to see that they are true. And then you got your actors above. You got Trump, who's playing the Messiah, and you got Obama, who's playing the Antichrist. And I believe you're trying to push the beast as a, what, Prince Henry or something? Or you're trying to play the false prophet. Oh yeah, that's right. The false prophet, you're pushing as if that's the Pope. He's just many false prophets. But there's mainly one true false prophet, and one true Antichrist, and one true beast. And they all get destroyed because their soul, all in one, gets destroyed and then resurrected. It's just a matter of time. Like, when does that happen? When do people change their hearts and turn to God? Everybody does. That's why every tongue does confess and every knee will bow down. Just a messenger. Just a messenger. Not an angel. I'm a messenger. They're the ones that called messenger angel. The true word was a messenger from God. They want to put angel attached to it. And then they want to make angels on TV and make it look like you have wings and you're like this imaginary floating thing in the sky. Which makes you think, like, if someone says they're an angel, it's like, whatever, yeah. No, just a messenger from God. Just relaying a message. He told you, don't shoot the messenger. You know, go shoot God. Try to shoot God out of the sky.